Good morning. I'm Psychic Susan, and I got your question yesterday, and I spent quite a bit of time meditating on it, and I need to tell you that this is a very, very serious situation. You wanted to know who was doing witchcraft on your son, but I'm not going to sit here and say that someone is doing witchcraft on your son, because that takes away the responsibility for the situation from you and from your son. Because really, truthfully, it is a manifestation of your relationship. So it initially probably started out to be very good and very loving, and it has turned into a place where you no longer feel happy. And I'm sure your son doesn't feel happy either. Okay, so the first card, the first card that I drew for this is right here. It's the King of Vessels, a heron. So this card represents a deep belief in fairness. It also is a person who has a lot of character and who is also a fairly stubborn person. So it also represents a person who is weak in character, and the opposite side of the character is that they are weak in character, and a person who milks the situation, or takes full advantage of a situation for his own self-pity and his own self-gain. His time of being a child must end. Okay, the second card I pulled is this card of this woman sort of lashed to a tree, the roots growing out of her, the Three of Stones, creativity. So this is also your son, a card for your son. He is very creative, and he needs to learn to listen and trust his inner voice. And because right now, he doesn't. He's very self-loathing and self-doubting, and he doesn't like himself at all. So he doesn't trust his voice. He just doesn't. So I made some notes here for myself because this was really an important question. Okay, so following that card, we have the Page of Stones, or the Lynx. And this card represents the king of the jungle, really. He hunts alone. He studies everything. He learns, starting out he needs to figure out what he needs to do to make a good decision. Your son doesn't know how to make a decision or a choice. He is locked into the situation. He doesn't have the self-esteem, the self-respect to move forward. So he, and this is for you and he both, need to figure out what it is you need to learn from the situation. And it needs your dedication and his dedication and commitment to make changes. Neither one of you are at fault here, yet both of you are at fault here. And I'm not saying that as a way to beat yourself up or punish yourself. It's just sort of the facts of the matter. Okay, so the next card is the Journey card. You see there's a crow here ripping the meat off the bones. of a dead animal, and there's a lot of other crows flying up and circling the carrion. So, and this card says that you and your son both need to face your deepest fears and desires, and face your desires. What is it that you want? What is it that you are afraid of? Is he frozen in his ways because he's afraid he'll be a failure? That could be a big one. So it's a good thing that you have come to the realization that you don't want this anymore, and that you cannot support him anymore. And what is he, 40? He's 40, so, or will be 40. As a mother of older sons, you have to be able to trust them, and to trust that they'll make the right decisions and the right choices. So finally, the final card of this reading is the Nine of Bows. And if you see down here, it says respect. So this is respect for yourself and respect for others. Okay, so this card, the self-respect, is the sign of a very evolved person who, a very evolved spirit, and someone who can admit their mistakes and their failings. As a mother, you can say, somehow I failed to give you the right guidance, or somehow I failed to give you good male role models in your life. So this sort of, self-respect and self-admission, needs to be done without blame or self-torment. You don't need to beat yourself up for it. It just is what it was. So, and you did the best you could at the time. And I was a single mother for a while, and that is one of the most difficult, if not the most difficult situation I have ever been in. It's very hard. So, this card also indicates that there's a good opportunity for you and he to move toward mutual respect and to move towards your own self-respect, which is what he needs to become a fully functioning man. And it's what you need to be a happy, fulfilled mother. Self-respect. So, okay, here's my advice. And I'm giving you this advice for free. The reading was paid for. I would go find someone in your community, either a male psychologist or a male counselor. There must be some sort of community service situation where you live. You may even be able to find it for low or no cost, and talk to them. Tell them what your situation is and what you'd like to accomplish. They'll ask you questions, they'll help you, they'll guide you. The next thing is that I think once you find a male, that you feel like you can discuss things with and who will be honest with you, that you need to bring your son into this counseling situation so that with the counselor, you can tell him what your expectations are, what your limits are on supporting him financially, that sort of thing. Your son needs to have boundaries and he needs to have guidelines and direction. So it's not too late to do this. And then one of the things that I feel would be most beneficial is that if the two of you continue to do therapy sessions, counseling sessions together, and that you each do them separately, so that you can develop an adult to adult relationship that makes you happy and proud. So he needs to be happy and proud. And he's very creative, very artistic, very sensitive man. You know, I'm sure that in some way, it's not laziness, it's really self-hatred that keeps him from doing anything. So you need to have a male counselor, help you create a better man. It's not too late. You know, it's not too late. When it will be too late is when you pass away someday in the very distant future with all the stuff unsettled and undone. That's when it will be too late. To now, right now, it is not too late. So I suggest you start looking today, right now, this morning, whatever time it is, and where you are when you read this. Look for a counselor and make an appointment. Do that now. It's not too late. So this is Psychic Susan. I would really appreciate it if you gave me a 5-star review. It helps me to drive my business and create my business. And please let me know if there's anything else I can help you with. If you have any other questions you'd like answers, you know, anything at all, just please send it to me in the chat. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.